Hey folks, welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at how you can create some really interesting serpent-like creatures. We're going to talk about the basics on how to approach this. Let's get right into it. Let's start off by having a conversation about volumetric shapes. So this is an example of a normal cylinder. This cylinder has two caps that are roughly the same size. This is an example of a standard cylinder. A tapered cylinder has one cap being larger than the other. So it's going from thin to thick. So if I draw these caps right here, you can see that the cylinder gets bigger as we move through. So this is an important concept that we're going to be applying with the technique. So let's get right into it. We'll start off with a line of some type. I'm going to make it an S-shaped line. I'm going to hit Command J to make a copy of the line that I just created. And I'm going to hit Command T to bring up the transform tool. From there, I have to establish where the tail is for this serpent-like creature. In this specific example, I'm going to take this pivot and I'm going to move it to the bottom left, where that's where I want my tail to appear. When you have the transform tool still active, what you're going to do is move your cursor to one of the handles on the corner. So I'm going to pick the top right, just because that seems like more natural. And I'm going to create an offset here. I'm going to hit enter. Now, I want to just move these two layers up so I have a little bit more room to play with. I'll shift select those layers and I'll move them up. When I'm done with that, I can merge the two layers and drop the opacity so I can draw on top of this. So I've got the basic shape here, but these are just lines. We're trying to imply a sense of form. So this tail has certain parts of it that look like they're going away from the viewer, and certain parts that are coming towards the viewer. So we have to think in 3 dimensions. Let me explain. I'll pick a different color here. This could be coming out towards us. And these solid lines indicate that those are parts of the shape or the contour that the viewer is actually seeing. And you'll notice that this shape changes. It's basically an elliptical shape, but it changes its orientation and its thickness like so. And this is the idea that we're trying to get across here. Now, what about this point right here where these lines seem to intersect? Well, I prefer to go ahead and just go beyond that, make another dotted line, and then I'll interpolate. Basically what that means is I'm going to come back here and try to match the relative size of those ellipses and create a new candidate between these two. And this is what I'm going to actually connect up. So I can make a line, a sweeping line. Again, drawing with my entire arm. That's how you get these nice smooth lines. I'll also rotate the canvas by hitting R so that I can always pull those lines towards myself. This is how you get really strong lines. If you're not in the habit of rotating your page as you work, I think you're really missing out. It's a really, really good way to ensure that your lines stay confident. So here's the rough sketch. And from this point, what I can do is I can add, a head. And so I'll just, there's all sorts of shapes that you can employ here. I'll just go ahead and make like a tulip or a tail-like shape. And then I'll have a jaw. And I'll throw in some eyes. So that's the basic concept here. And I'll do it one more time. This time we'll have something that's a little bit more wild, I'll hit Command J to make a copy, Command T. With the transform tool active, use the pivot point, move the pivot point to one side. And if you don't see the pivot point here, just double check to make sure that the pivot point in fact is checked. So let's now rotate. We'll hit enter. I want this to be in the entire page here, so I will shift select those layers and move them down like so. Merge the two layers by hitting Command E and then dropping the opacity. Now in this particular example here, we have 2 points where the lines are intersecting. So we don't have to worry about that. We just have to start by establishing our contours. Now as this starts to change direction, this outer edge is going to flip. You see how it goes from the solid line is kind of facing right, now it's facing left. That's because we're changing direction. And that's something important that you want to pick up on as well. Again, I'm going to skip these 2 points right here. We're changing direction. And now we can add an interpolated contour, another interpolated contour. These have to be rounded. They're not going to be flat. We're always trying to think of something that is, in 3 dimensions here. And then we can start to connect those lines. So again, rotate my canvas. You can always do the cleanup work later on, but the main concept here is you're thinking about thickness in volume, and these curved lines that you're establishing help you with your, posing this particular serpent-like creature. So if you have to draw this character, say, in a page in a comic book or something like that, you now have the ability to indicate its form with the help of some of these digital tools. And then, I would also say for the head of the creature, you can make the head whatever shape you wish. So I'm going to do something like this, where the jaw is going to be open. And it's going to have kind of like almost like a screwdriver type of head. And then from there you can add whatever details you wish. I'll give you a bonus tip here. If I'm trying to draw fins on this creature, what I can do is consider the fact that these fins are going to be tapered cylinders as well. And what we would like to do is apply that tapered cylinder and have it attach. And I'm going to taper these down to a point, so it'll almost be like a cone shape. And I'll just layer these in, and I'm making them progressively shorter. And if I want to add some, other dorsal elements on there, I can go ahead and, I'm not even sure if that's the right word, but I can create little fins like this and have this little repeating pattern. So that's one way of creating a serpent-like creature. Let me know if this tip helped you out. If you haven't drawn a serpent-like creature, give it a try. This can also work with dragons. Remember, dragons have feet. But the basic concept that I'm trying to get across here is that you can use the curve along with the transform tool to really create some very interesting shaped serpent-like creatures. If you found this tip to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up so other folks can find it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And drop me a comment to let me know what you think of this particular tip. Do you already know about it? Do you have another way of doing it? Let me know in the comments below. As always, my name is Krishna. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.